Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Brown versus Shenoster.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Brown, you claim the defendant got you pregnant while on a break from his wife. His constant denials have caused you to petition the court for a DNA test. You say once today's results prove he is 6-month-old Blessing's father, you want him to stop denying her and step up. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Shenoster, you and your wife claim you know you are not the biological father of her daughter, and the results will prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
so, Ms. Brown, you say you are furious Mr. Shenoster is denying your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain.
Okay, we were married. He lies, and he will lie and say that we wasn't, but we were. He lies about everything, Your Honor.
Who married us?
Can I talk?
Can I see the paperwork?
Can I talk? What paperwork?
Exactly.
I ripped it up.
Was the email?
I ripped it up. I'm not talking. Where were you? Where were you when I got married? Where were you? You wasn't around exactly. So when were you when I conceived my daughter? You wasn't around.
Wait a minute. Ladies, what I need to know is, how did you marry him if he already had a wife?
Because he didn't have a wife. How did married to
me and
me
Ms.
at the
Douglas
time?
was together, but we were not married. We were separated.
Take me to the beginning of your relationship with Mr. Shenoster. I want to understand this.
We met through a mutual friend, which we basically had a long-distance type of relationship. We talked on the phone, we Facebooked, all of that. So we don't court. We meet, we get married. That's how it go.
Okay, so before you can have intimacy with somebody,
yes, ma'am,
you have to be married.
Yes, ma'am.
And was this before you actually met him in person?
Yes.
How did you get married if you've never seen him?
Over the phone.
So you marry over the phone, which means you commit yourself to one another.
Yes.
Then to be clear, this is not a legal marriage like we think about through the state, where you go to the, it's not that, it's a marriage within the religion.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Shenoster, I understand this now. Did you marry Miss Brown before you?
No, Your Honor. I met her on Facebook.
You?
We had inbox. We inboxed back and forth. And she was living in a shelter at the time.
You're a lie, never.
Hold up. She was living in a shelter at the time. She was about to move into her apartment. When she finally moved into her apartment, she said, come down so we can meet. Okay? I caught the train, got off the train, got in the cab. When I pulled up to the block, I seen about 8 guys on her step. So I called her because I was confused, like, where am I coming to? When I walked in, she said, here's your Abu. Abu is father. Talking to her 3 kids. I've never met her a day in my life.
Come on.
When I walked in, she said, here's your Abu. When I walked in, the kids like, hey, Abu, hey, Abu. She continues to walk straight to the back of the house.
Baby daddy.
2 minutes later, she comes out of the back. She no longer looks like a Muslim. She has on a little shirt and some tights on, and she's walking up the aisle, hiking them up like this, so I can see her private parts. Okay?
In front of my kids.
Exactly, because you're
Now she's jiggling. Now she's jiggling, walking towards me. So I did consider, Your Honor, I did consider marriage.
My friend told me.
I did consider marriage with this young lady, right? But when I seen that, the only thing I could think about doing was going to get a bottle of Henny because it was on and popping now. That's it.
Now can I talk?
There wasn't nothing else going on. I was not going to marry her.
You look like a man anyway. Shut up.
You shut up.
Can I talk, Your Honor?
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. You go from meeting the Muslim woman of your dreams to a bottle of Henny, and it's on and popping?
She was trying to get popped off, that's it. She gave me temptation.
But what we
all... hiking up with the thing, when I seen that,
Your Honor.
No, before I let you respond, Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown, before I let you respond.
You want to do like this?
You're
start jiggling?
You're lying. Your Honor.
And I've never seen her again after that.
But listen. Wait. What I'm trying to understand is marriage or no marriage, you still say you had sex with her.
Yes. Yes, I did. I did have unprotected sex with her.
And it was unprotected.
Yes, unprotected.
So
unprotected sex.
Would you have unprotected sex with a
Yeah,
Well,
probably a dog is a dog, ain't it?
I've got half a bottle.
Married to him, honey. So what you saying? So what you saying? Your Honor, when he came to my house, he came out. He came out.
Let's get some order. Mr. Shenoster, how long did this relationship last with Miss Brown?
48 hours.
Exactly. And you still lie. And when this
48
is
hours,
exactly,
Donna.
he lies about every single
I got there on a Friday, I left Sunday.
So, Mr. Shenoster, you said after that, that was the end of the relationship?
That was it. I never seen her again. I rarely spoke to her. I found out months and months later that she was pregnant.
Contacting you.
Why would you stop contacting your husband?
Because
you put him out on Facebook.
You decided that you wanted to leave.
Facebook.
You married me and had sex with me all weekend. Why would you stop talking to me?
Because I did.
I know the sex was good.
Because I did.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. How soon after you ended the relationship with Mr. Shenoster were you intimate with somebody else?
6 weeks after.
6 weeks after. And how soon after that did you find out you were pregnant?
When I found out I was pregnant, I was 6 weeks and 3 days. I had sex with another man 3 days before I found out I was pregnant.
And so when you found that out, did you immediately call Mr. Shenoster?
Yes.
And what did you say to him?
I said, I'm pregnant.
What was your response?
She was 6 months pregnant.
He said, congratulations, I was never 6 months pregnant. I was 6 weeks and 3 days. I sent an ultrasound.
Your Honor, the other man that's in question was, if you recall earlier when I said I pulled up in the cab, that's one of the men that was on the step.
No, he wasn't.
When I left that Sunday, he was in the area. He was basically going in the house while I was coming out, leaving to go back to Philadelphia.
I didn't even meet him then.
Now, Your Honor, can I please say something? I had to call her sister Kay's phone to talk to her. Kay told me that she couldn't speak to me at the time, okay? I said, why? She got company. Okay.
Lies.
When I called back, she says her boyfriend is here.
Lies.
Now, the boyfriend is the man that she's talking about, which is the same man that's on her Facebook profile picture with the baby.
Your Honor.
It's a family collage of this same man. That's the only reason I knew who this man was, is because I seen his face on Facebook in that family collage. When I looked at the collage, I said, wait, this is the same man.
I didn't even meet him until after I met you, first of all. And if he was her father, why would I have a problem with
you met him 6 weeks
that
after
he's
that?
her father if I'm with him? What sense would that make?
So
I would rather him be her father than you. You have yet to see my child.
Ms. Douglas.
She's 6 months.
Ms. Douglas, I know this is difficult for you. If you need to leave the courtroom, you may be excused. So, Ms. Brown, has he seen Blessing?
Never seen her in person, never touched her, never kissed her, nothing. He treat my daughter like she's nothing, like she's the scum underneath her shoe. He wished death on my child, called her ugly.
What? What?
I don't believe this.
And then he wondered why when I finally talked to him, I have the hatred I have towards him. Because if you want to keep it between me, let's go there. I'm grown. I can handle that. But this little baby don't deserve none of that.
This is the same man that's taking care of this little girl right now.
And he gets...
This same man is taking care of this girl.
Your Honor, would you not take care? That's what a stepfather is. When you step down, they step up.
He's doing what he's supposed to do as a father.
Oh, okay.
So Ms. Brown, what you're saying is, because Mr. Shenoster failed to step up, this other man did.
The same
and
man.
that's why maybe people mistake him for being Blessing's biological.
He's the only one. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Look at my child. Look at her forehead. I don't have that forehead. Look at her grills. She has the same grills that you have. Look at them lips. I don't have them lips.
For 2 days. Don't nobody know me.
He was claiming her, Your Honor, until his wife she told me. She told him that he wasn't the father. But you're the man. You're the household.
Your Honor, that's a lie.
Like, she told me
She reached out to her and told her that we were willing.
She didn't reach out to me. I reached out to her.
Help with the baby.
So you say
she was with you.
So you say he accepted the baby.
He did.
So you submitted evidence to the court. You submitted text messages that say the following: Mr. Shenoster says good-looking husband, beautiful wife equals good-looking babies. I'm just saying I love you and thanks you. Ms. Brown, you respond, I love you too. Why are you thanking me? Laugh out loud. Mr. Shenoster says, for carrying my child. Oh. Thank you.
And again, he lies about everything.
Your Honor.
Mr. Shenoster?
Your Honor, I did entertain the thought of the baby being mine.
Entertain the thought?
I did entertain it.
Let me tell you something. That's not a thought. That's a message.
That is a thought, Your Honor. I'm gonna tell you, it is a thought. Because I've seen this other man around.
Nope. We gonna stay on this point.
Okay.
This point says good-looking husband, beautiful wife equals good-looking babies. That's some math we know about in this courtroom. You said you never married her.
I never married her.
So why you say good-looking husband?
I chose wrong. I chose my words unwisely.
You stuttering now.
Yeah, a little bit.
So let's just say, at this point, we know you lying. And let's go from this part.
Wait, what I'm lying about?
At some point, you're lying about the fact that you gave this woman an intention to believe that you all were married.
What am I lying about?
You're lying about the fact that you did at some point say that this was your wife and this was your child.
But whether I said that or not does not.
So, no. Mr. Shenoster.
Wifey and husband.
Hey. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
You call me a liar.
You flaring up?
You need to settle.
I feel offended by that.
You flaring up?
Take a deep breath, settle down, or you're not going to get the answer you need today, okay?
Mr. Shenoster, the problem is that don't get upset because we have this message. This message just illuminates. Hold on. When your wife stood here and she testified to the fact over and over again that you all had established a marriage, that you all had sex unprotected, and that this child was yours, you acted like this was the most far-fetched story she could have ever conjured up. Hold on. That she could have ever conjured up. Your wife clowned her back and forth that this ain't no way could have been. No. Why then do you say good-looking husband and beautiful wife equals good-looking babies?
That's how I talk.
So that's how you talk.
Yeah, that's how I talk.
So that's how you talk to women.
Obviously.
And then you also thank women for carrying your child?
Like I said, I did have unprotected sex with her. I did.
So why do you not say there's a possibility that she can be mine?
Because when I walked out, the same man was walking in the door and he was living there. Instead of you just saying she's not mine.
You could still potentially be Blessing's biological father because you admit you had unprotected sex with her.
The dates ain't add up.
The dates didn't add up? You felt like the window of conception wasn't during the time you were intimate with her.
Not only the dates, Your Honor, but me seeing this young man visible at the time when I arrived.
That's gonna give any man doubt. Look, we do this too much. Any man,
answered the phone and told me that that's not my daughter. This is the same man that answered her telephone and told me that was not my daughter. Do not contact them, that he's going to take care of her.
Now that's the testimony you need to be given.
Your Honor.
You're saying that this man was on the phone with you. He answered the phone and told you this is not your child and don't come around.
And not to come around there.
Your Honor.
And so
that didn't happen, Ashley?
No. How could you see somebody coming in my house from Philadelphia?
So how I ain't see him?
No.
If he was living there on the couch, how I ain't see him?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right. I'm ready for the results. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Brown versus Shenoster, when it comes to 6-month-old Blessing Brown, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Shenoster, you are the father. That's your baby. That's a beautiful little girl. She deserves her daddy. Not somebody standing up talking about, she ain't mine, she ain't this. Innocent babies don't deserve that.
Well, I know she's my daughter now. That won't happen. I take care of all my kids very well. I'm an excellent father.
Your wife had to leave the courtroom. And now you're going to have to explain to her that this, in fact, is your biological child. Bottom line is this.
Duh.
Blessing is here. You've never seen her, held her.
Nope.
6 months old.
And Your Honor, I invited him to the house. I always have. I never told him that he could not see her, ever.
Listen, this happens all the time. It's unfortunate, but it happens. And this is why we're here. Because in these moments, I always give the same opportunity, and I hope people take advantage of it. And if you are okay, I would like to give Mr. Shenoster an opportunity to meet Blessing in my chambers. Because it's important for me that she begin to bond with her father, to feel the love of her father, to be in her father's arms. That's what's important for this court, is that children get what they deserve, and that is both parents, if that is at all possible. So, Mr. Shenoster, are you willing to meet in my chamber so you can see your beautiful baby girl?
Most definitely.
That's what I wanted to hear. I will meet you all there. Court is adjourned.